What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we have something very interesting that just dropped. We have the Q&A for the Starlancer TAC, and this is going to be another very interesting ship. Now, I have spent a little bit of time with the Max. I'm working on getting the review out. Just, servers haven't been that great. So as soon as the servers are good, I'll get back on and I'll record a video for the Max. But the TAC is available for a Q&A, so let's take a see in what they are talking about. Can you please explain in more detail what the equal launchers and remote operated missile turrets are? There are 4 bespoke 3 quad launchers that are co-pilot controlled missiles, which are found in each current variant of the Starlancer TAC, Max, and BOD. The remote operated missile turrets are currently exclusive to the Starlancer TAC. They are controlled by the co-pilot and are located under either side of the ramp. Angle of the images on the promo package make it difficult to see. However, in game they will have good coverage. So this says on either side of the rear ramp. Boom, those right there. So these, I believe, are going to be rear facing turrets. We got those right there. You can see them in these images right here. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty well. I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit more. Okay, now you can really see it. So those are those missile turrets that are going to be co-pilot controlled. Can you please describe the firing arcs of each turret? The 2 top turrets have a full 180-degree arc, with the rear one facing up when used to give better angles. However, both leave the underside a little bit more vulnerable. The Starlancer TAC has additional coverage, with the rear remote missile turrets covering the rear and lower section from behind, which side turrets giving lower underside covering arcs. So it looks like these turrets right here can only go up and down. They don't go side to side. This is their only firing arc, 180 degrees from this position. Do any of the TAC's turrets have an overlapping firing arc? The top 2 turrets have some overlap in their firing arcs. The TAC side turrets won't have overlap due to their placements on opposite sides of the hull. So I'm guessing what they mean by that is, with these turrets facing down or shooting down, they're not going to be able to cross each other's firing arcs, which probably means that they are just going to go up and down, kind of similar to how these ones operate. I was kind of hoping to see if these turrets would actually come out and if they could be used kind of how the Carrick's turrets are used, how they come out and you can kind of like face them forward. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case with these 2 turrets. What does 2 size 4 twin length weapons actually mean? Is that 4 size 4 weapons, or bespoke weapons equivalent to 2 size 4 weapons? This refers to the hardpoints that have multiple weapons mounted to them. In this instance, the pilot controls 2 hardpoints with 2 size 4 weapons. Similar examples can be seen on the Freelancer and Starfarer. It's a really dumb question. Will the Starlancer's computer capacity allow for the 2 dorsal remote turrets to be bladed? And that means these 2 remote turrets up here. Will these turrets be able to be AI bladed? Yes, the current intention is to allow the Starlancer TAC's computers to have capacity for AI blades, though this is subject to the development of the AI blade system and implementation in game. I'm glad they added this extra bit of clarification, because if they would have just said this part right here and left it at that, then they would have to basically stick to that, right? Instead of, saying that, hey, this could change due to development. And so I think with anything, this part right here, due to, subject to the development of the AI blades implementation in game, I think that's an important thing for us to understand. And this just means maybe not. And I'm probably going to say that it's not going to be implemented in a way that's going to make the player base happy. Okay. So again, right now they're saying they're speculating that maybe these two top turrets can be bladed. I do think it's dumb that we have this wing here that separates the turrets, from being able to fully face forward and things like that. Is just kind of dumb. What armor does the TAC have compared to the other vessels of its size, and what countermeasures does it have? It's a good question. The Starlancer TAC is designed to have a far more combat-focused role than the BLDR Max would have better armor to reflect that, which is subject to in-game balancing. Currently, there is no plans to change this countermeasures beyond that of the other variants. I do feel that with the current state of the game and how they're doing these ships, if they're not going to give us a lot of countermeasures, I do think these ships need PDSs, and there is room to put PDSs on the ship. You can split the difference. You could put one PDS here. You could put one PDS here. You can even put a PDS here up here over the bridge of the ship. But I do think if they're not going to be implementing and giving more countermeasures, they need to do that. For instance, like the Polaris doesn't have that many countermeasures. It's a capital ship. It should literally have thousands of countermeasures, but it doesn't. So that's just my opinion on it, guys. Let me know what you think about countermeasures down in the comments. How will the Marines leave the Starlancer TAC? Are there crew-controlled mounted Gatling guns to protect their drop? Yes, the side doors open to give the Marines the opportunity to drop from the sides, similar to the Valkyrie, with door guns covering down fire. Now, we're probably not going to be able to see that all that well on this one, but I would assume like these doors over here would open up on the side, and there's going to be some guns that pop out. But I mean, if you got people in these and your side mounted guns, if you're doing drops, I don't know in what scenario you would actually need to do this gameplay in Star Citizen. There isn't a whole lot of gameplay for that just yet, but I mean, you could probably take care of your people that are dropping with these side turrets right here. You should be just fine. You do have your size 4 pilot controlled weapons. You could be a dirty nose downer and use those two along with your missiles to shoot at ground targets. So it's really not that big of a deal to have a gun. I wouldn't want to just have a door open and just a person being able to be shot with the doors open. Just they're in a turret, use your guns. There's really no need for that, in my opinion. Is the left container an ammunition feeder? If so, could it be recharged from the inside of the ship? Image below. These are purely visual storytelling. In the future, on larger ships, you'll be able to rearm ballistics from within the ship via equivalent mini freight elevators. Via the mini freight elevators. Oh, so this is just kind of wasted art, I guess. So they're just yeah, this is something that's not even going to be in the game, so it's just a set piece pretty much. And they talked about this in that story that came out from Insider Gaming or whatever, talking about spending a lot of time on details that players are never going to interact with, and this is one of those things that we're never going to interact with. So, and I wouldn't hold your breath on rearming ballistics via mini freight elevators. Like, what ships have mini freight elevators to reload ballistics inside of ships? Are they going to be selling a ship that's going to have mini freight elevators? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Like, I would not even believe or trust this statement right there. Does it actually come with a Fury or just a Fury size hangar for Snub fighters? Also, can there be any other Snubs fit in this hangar? What are the dimensions of the sub hangar? The hangar is specifically designed for a Fury rather than a set metric, similar to the hangar on the Invocarric size for the C8 Pisces. The standard Starlancer TAC does not come as standard with any Fury variant. So that means if you want a Fury, you gotta get your own. So it looks like to me like the Starlancer TAC is looking like a cross between a Carrack and a Valkyrie. Like a Carrack and a Valkyrie, had a love child. Let me bring up the Carrack right here. The Starlancer TAC is both of these ships put into one ship, and it's a smaller profile. The only thing that I'm worried about, like I said, I did fly the the Starlancer Max, and I'm actually kind of worried about this ship having very low G's and having a worse turn acceleration due to it having more guns and more armor. I don't think they're gonna balance this ship on mass. I'm not gonna hold my breath on that, but yeah, I'm not excited about how this ship currently performs, because you would think, it being a drop ship, it should at the very least be able to go fast in a straight line, be able to get to its target and get out. But I believe the current Starlancer Max has like barely over 4 G's of forward acceleration, which is not going to get you anywhere quicker. I think if I'm not mistaken, now you guys can correct me down this in the comments, I haven't been able to fly the Constellation in a cool minute because mine got wiped from my live, but I do remember the Constellation having around 7 G's of forward acceleration, for an example, which is almost double of what this ship has. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind when you're using one of these ships for your combat or for, you know, doing cargo, because when it comes to piracy, you're not going to be able to run away, and you're not going to be able to really engage anybody, because everyone can range control you because of your lack of G's. Okay, G's matter almost as much as speed does. Speed's a little bit more important, your top speed, but your G's control your acceleration. If you have low G's, then, you know, it's not a very good ship for doing anything combat related, which this is supposed to do, right? Does the TAC come with a specific hangar for ground vehicles? Will the rear access ramp work as a vehicle hangar, or can we store additional vehicles in the cargo area? The Starlancer TAC features the same rear access ramp as in storage space as the BLD and Max. On all variants, the ramp is large enough to accommodate a tumbler storm. Okay, it's pretty nice. Does the TAC's cargo space also come down with a ground lift like the Max variant? The Starlancer's lower midsection is significantly different to the Max, as the cargo hold has been replaced with additional turrets, drop seats, and medical facilities. Only the designated cargo storage on the TAC is in the rear hold. However, when the cargo grid is full, there is still space to fit an Ursa rover between them. Okay. So even if you wanted to, like, not put a vehicle back there, you could still probably put more boxes on that area in between where the rover is, and then go into the ship somewhere else. There should be another entrance up here in the front somewhere. I'm pretty sure. I haven't really flown. Like I said, I haven't really done that much with the Max yet. Can we further modify the TAC to support bounty hunter or pirate gameplay? For example, will we be able to replace turret weapons with tractor beams, or does the ship have the ability to carry prisoner pods? The Starlancer TAC is now a modular ship, so alterations cannot be made to support any of the gameplay loops. In addition, the turrets are weapon mounts rather than utility mounts, so they can be equipped with other weapons. I don't know why. Like, why is that a question? Like you can use the Max for bounty hunting and piracy if you really wanted to, right? The thing, like I said, the thing that matters when you're trying to do bounty hunting and you're trying to do piracy against other players is G-forces. How much G's do you have going in any direction? If you don't have that many G's, it's not going to be a ship that's going to be particularly good at that, right? Compared to ships of a similar size, the Starlancer TAC seems to be very slow. Can you tell us why you went for that low max speed? The TAC is slower compared to dedicated combat ships of the same size due to the Starlancer platform initially being designed for cargo hauling. However, this robust and sturdy frame is better at absorbing incoming fire than similar sized ships. So that essentially means the Starlancer TAC is going to be a bullet sponge. And this is why sometimes I get kind of upset with CIG, because they don't play their game, right? They don't play their game. They don't understand that speed and G's matter, right? And I'm not saying that it should be overpowered in a kind of way. All I'm saying is, if there's a ship that can outmaneuver it, that's better at doing what you want it to do, you're going to use the ship that's better in combat. So if it's not good at the thing that you're designing it for, you know what I mean? Like, and this is what drives me crazy. too is because it's like, yeah, you took the saber frame and you stripped it all out to make it fit for racing to sell it, right? But you can't modify this frame to make it a little bit better for combat, to make it a little bit more, to make it a little bit quicker. You couldn't beef up the engines. You couldn't say, okay, well, it has the same frame, but we're gonna put it bigger. We're gonna give the engines more power so that you can actually do combat effectively, right? No, they're just gonna make it a big, slow bullet sponge, and this is why I didn't buy the TAC initially. You know, I was gonna melt a bunch of my ships because I'm trying to get myself up to, you know, my Perseus upgrade that I have, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna buy a ship that's a freaking bullet sponge. Like, why would I do that? That doesn't even make sense, you know. And I already suspected that this ship was going to be a slow tanking mess, and I wish they would do these Q&As before they sell the ships, like the same day, so that people would have pertinent information. That way they would actually know like what they're actually buying. And I tell people, like, listen, with master modes being out in the game now, it's very imperative that you fly the ship before you think about spending your money to buy it. Because the last thing you want to have is like, oh man, this ship looks so cool, it looks so great, it's so awesome. And then you wind up having buyer's remorse because you read something like this and you basically understand that your ship is going to be a bullet sponge. You're not going to be able to close the distance and shoot fighters that are coming at you. You're not going to be able to fight against a Constellation Andromeda because it's going to absolutely mop the floor with you. You're not going to be able to fight Corsairs. You're not going to be able to fight any ship of a similar size. It's not going to matter because they are hell-bent on making this ship slow and tanky. So let's continue. We have a few questions left. I'm going to give like my final thoughts. The stats provide no concrete size for the jump drive and fuel tank. Can you give us the specifics on size of these for this deep space ship? The Starlancer TAC currently has a 25% increase in quantum fuel capacity over the base variant, bringing up to 1.5 micro SU. This is already a tier higher than other ships of a similar in terms of capacity. Okay. How many entry exit points are there? Does the TAC have additional? Does the TAC have dorsal access, such as a ladder to exit from the outside on top of the ship, or a ladder on the walls of the Fury hangar? Do we need the means to climb up there and do repairs if we are planet side? The Starlancer TAC comes with several different entrances and exit points: the rear ramp, the front lift, the side jump doors, the docking collar, and the Fury hangar doors. So no, you can't. There's not going to be like the Corsair where you can go on top of your ship and walk around. Like, and what repairs are you going to be making planet side? You know what I mean? Like, engineering and repair is not even in the game. It's not coming in the game anytime soon. Like, I don't even know why that's a question. You know what I mean? Is there a docking collar? Yes, each Starlancer variant has a small docking collar towards the front, just outside the armory. Okay. So, my thoughts on this Q&A, and I got to tell you guys that I am ecstatic that I didn't waste my time melting other ships, upgrading to this ship, because this is not going to be a great ship based on their Q&A. Now, because this is all just a Q&A, we can treat it all as speculation, right? But when it comes to ship speed and maneuverability, usually they don't change a whole lot of stuff with that. My sentiments still are the same, that this is a mix between a Carrack and a Valkyrie. It's like two ships that are like put into one. But if you guys are going to think like this is going to be some great ship that you're going to be able to fly around and you're going to be very happy with it, you're not. It's going to be slow. It's probably going to have a worse turn rate than the Max does, and it's going to be essentially food for light fighters, you know, and it's because of how their combat geometry works. I'll say it again. Even, I don't know, we'll be testing it when it comes out. We'll put it through its paces, but it's not, like I said, guys, it's not going to be a good ship, and it's going to be something that I think people will wind up melting probably solely based on this Q&A, but also when it comes out into the game over the next 12 months, it's gonna it may not come out over the next 12 months. Who knows, right? But because we're still missing the Zeus MR in the Spirit E1. We haven't seen anything about those ships, but we have this Q&A here to go over. But yeah, I'm not that excited about the Starlancer, the Max. I was not that excited about it when I saw it. I still have to give my review on the Max, and now the TAC is not that great, and the people who have melted their ships to buy it, yikes, you got played. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.